In today's Madden 26 video, I'm going to break down a hidden formation that has one of the absolute best plays in the game that you can use to destroy every defense. This formation is hidden in plain sight. Not too many people know about it, but after watching this video, you're going to be unstoppable. Let's get into it. So this formation we're going to look at is out of this gun tight flex. It's a hidden formation within the gun tight flex. For this purpose of this video, I'm looking at the Atlanta Falcons playbook. I actually think that the Falcons playbook has a lot of great stuff and it's extremely underrated. So besides like this tight flex hidden formation, it does also have one of the best bunches in the game. If you like running gun bunch, this is a great playbook for you. Because it also has bunch offset, bunch nasty, bunch tight end, and bunch spread. So there's a lot of bunches in here, man. If you like bunch formations, this is probably one of the best playbooks in the game, period. But the specific formation at this tight flex is actually an empty set, right? You see, we have three empty plays right here with empty motion mesh rail, empty smash Z post, and empty motion Y cross Ohio. Okay, so let's look at the empty motion mesh rail. So as you guys know, right now, the meta still is a lot of cover zero mid blitz. So if you're going up against somebody who likes to spam cover zero man to man, this is a great play for you. I'm going to show you a few setups you can use to beat both man and zone, but this will glitch out man to man defense for easy big plays. Now, if you're enjoying my content and you want more just like it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop me a like on the video, guys. I do daily videos each week to help you guys get better at the game. So, let's first talk about man. There's a few different variations I like running on this play, but one of the easiest ones is just to stem this corner route down all the way on the left, and then to streak this receiver that's kind of on that route on the right. So with this, against man, you'll get a corner, you'll get two quick drags, a streak, and the most important thing is the auto motion route. Because this route will put a lot of stress on the defense because that guy's going to be running across the formation. Oftentimes, he's just not going to be able to get out there, which will be an easy throw. You're going to have the defense scrambling to cover that. All right, guys. So the auto motion, oftentimes you can just quick pass this into the flat. Whether they have hard flats, man, it's really hard to stop consistently. Sometimes, I like to use it as a decoy more than anything to make them run out there. Because once that happens, you'll see we have two very fast drags. Like these drags run fast. Some drag get over the middle quicker than others. These ones aren't like that because you can see I'm able to catch this in stride. Now I have two of these drags on the field. They're not always going to be my main read, but they are just really good as a quick read if I'm getting blitzed and I don't necessarily like the wheel. So I have a lot of other options on this play. One of the best things about the auto motion. Real quick, guys, if you want to dominate Madden 26 and win more games, check out my VIP membership on Sportsgamerz.com. This is where I post all my premium content, including all the offensive and defensive ebooks I release all year long, in addition to premium Madden Vault weekly tip updates. You will learn the proven strategies thousands of players have used to win more games, and over 99% of my members say that they win more games with my tips. Click the link in the description to join now and start winning more games today. Like I said, it's a decoy. It, makes that corner and man run across the field. That does two things. First of all, yeah, he probably can't get out there consistently, but it also changes the positioning of how we're going to look to defend this corner route on the left. Because now the furthest outside corner is that slot guy, and like clearly he's just not going to be able to get over there. He's just out of position. That's an easy touchdown because of the positioning with the motion. You see here, when we send the guy in motion, before zero, the corner was lined up outside that corner route, right? Now he has to chase this running back. Like I said, oftentimes he won't be able to. But what that does is now this corner over here, he's the furthest outside, right? And he is aligned inside the corner route. So if you have a relatively good receiver here, there should be no way that this is guarded ever. So you can see that this messes up the alignment of man-to-man because not only is the corner open, but now that's safety. Again, the safeties have to guard these drags, and if you look at their positioning, they're lined up actually outside of the receivers on the drags. So pretty much everybody is just out of whack. So the positioning of man is just honestly really, really bad on this play. Um, you definitely don't want to get in man. So of course you're gonna think logically go to zone, but this play can attack zone just as easily, glitching them out. Now I'm gonna show you guys like a few different ways I like to attack zone.
If you want to learn how to make millions of coins to get all the best players on your Madden Ultimate Team, check out the Coin Authority on sportsgamers.com. Click the link in the description of this video and use coupon code COINS for 10% off your order.
Let me start if they're just running like a cover 3 or cover 4 with hard flats. So I put my flats on 5 to simulate hard flats. A lot of people would think that a hard flat would make it so you can't really throw um, this route to a Dickerson, right? And against zone, I kind of a lot of times will do like two streaks or maybe a streak and then like a post or a return route. I can stem, whatever the case may be. We're just gonna go with this simple setup right here. So notice how this is zone. You can tell because nobody follows the running back. So that's also a way to get a man zone tell. If nobody follows the running back in auto motion, you pretty much know, hey, they're in zone. If you see that corner sprinting across, you pretty much know, hey, that's man. So like you can see we have a 5-yard flat on both sides of the field. The thing is like it's just not gonna get out there. That's why, like I said, you would think a hard flat would stop this, but really it doesn't. Because if you hike throw it, like, we're gonna get a good you almost get a speed burst on this route, kind of similar to spacing switch. It's not quite as good, I would say, but like it still is really good. You can see that that guy just doesn't get out there. So unless you move a flat zone out towards the sideline, or you have the outside corner and a hard flat, you're not going to be able to stop this, right? It's just going to be too easy to throw. Now, if you look over here, we still have, potentially the middle of the field with the drag, seam, streak, return, or post, and then the corner on the sideline. So this first setup, like I said, is really, really good. I have other ways I like to run it, though, which I'll show you in a second once we break down this a few more times, things like a cover 3 or cover 4. You also can just read that middle of the field area because, like, like, okay, they have got to defend the middle and the sideline with the seam, the drag, the post. So you're just looking high low. Then, if you don't like any of that, you obviously can just wait till later in the play to attack with this on the sideline, as you can see, wide open. Now, as I said, a hard flat cover 2 situation could potentially stop your throw to the sideline. But like I said, they're probably not going to want to play that. So if we were to put our actual flats on 5 and want to cover 2, you would be like, okay, like we're not really going to look to that route. The quick throw out to Dickerson, right? That's probably not the best read, right? But as you can see there, this setup still is really good because that stem corner will get behind it. Now, there's one variation I do want to show you to keep somebody out of even trying to play cover 2. And this is going to be to put this receiver right here next to the running back auto motion. Simply put him on a slot fade. If you happen to notice that they're loving cover 2, just put that guy in a slot fade. Because now he's going to run right by him, and that can potentially be a touchdown against cover 2, not just a big play like the corner route. That will fry them. And that's good whether they have their flats on 5 or just standard clouds. It really doesn't matter with the specific setup. So if I was to take my flats off 5 and just put them back on default and play a regular Tampa 2, no shading, you'll see that, this is just a really good setup to beat cover 2. So with the flats back on default, not on 5, you'll see that there's a few different avenues that we have to attack. First of all, like, this guy still gets open downfield for a huge play, maybe a touchdown. You just have to hold on to it a second longer than versus a hard flat. So here you'll see that, like, yeah, the flat zone's dropping deeper, but because of that, look, you could have easily thrown this and got easy yardage and maybe even a touchdown if you just get by the first corner. So, like, you almost have to have that corner and hard flat over there. Otherwise, the cloud flat is just not doing anything. But over here, you'll see that, like, first of all, we're eventually going to run by the cloud flat anyways. It just takes a second longer here. And, if they do try to switch on to the safety to take that away, that's why you have the seam streak. But, you don't necessarily even have to wait that long. That's a great thing about this play. If you notice that flat zone's dropping back really far and you just don't really feel like you got the time for that, well, that's what, just throw the drag, turn upfield. You'll see even with a terrible, shitty juke, you got big yards there just throwing the drag. tackling on this game and just the way the defenders move is really bad. So throwing checkdowns like drags, they're no longer just the 5 yards take you. No, like you can get huge plays with drags this year. I honestly feel that anytime you're going up against zone, like or honestly any defense, a drag is a must-have route because it will beat man and it also beats zone if they don't have shaded underneath. And when they do shade underneath, that's when you can throw like posts, corners, slot fades, all those bigger routes. It forces them to eventually give those up because nobody's going to want to allow somebody to throw a drag and get 15, 20 yards every time.